All right, guys, the hype is real. 6 days remaining until Black Myth Wukong. In this video, we're going to be going over some recent news, along with some more information on the game. Celebrate the launch of Black Myth Wukong. I am giving away the deluxe version of the game. Support this video with a like, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe to be entered in the giveaway. And yeah, there's been some, recent controversy regarding the, benchmark tool. It basically has this thing called Denuvo. And yeah, this has a lot of people worried. But if you don't know what it is, basically, this thing called Denuvo, I've honestly never heard of it, is criticized for causing longer load times, lower frame rates, and increased CPU usage, leading to a worse gaming experience. However, the Denuvo provider claims it will not affect game performance. Apparently, some developers actually blame it for bad optimization. Some believe developers use it as a scapegoat for poor game optimization, hiding issues that exist even without the anti-tamper software. And then obviously some people want to crack games. Critics of it might be motivated by a desire to crack games, exaggerating its impact to justify bypassing the software free access. But yeah, this also requires you to actually play the game online. So if you want to play Black Myth Wukong, it looks like you will need to be online or you just won't be able to run the game. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I think it's kind of a bit weird considering it's like a story game, but I think that's the direction most modern games are going nowadays, is obviously you have to just play online. And I think developers just do it mainly to stop piracy and stuff like that, and people, modding the game. But let's be honest, if someone wants to mod the game or play offline, gamers are going to figure out a way to do it. Let's be real. So it looks like a bunch of the original soundtrack of the game was leaked. Obviously, I'm not going to show or explain any of the songs, but it looks like someone has access to the full original soundtrack, which is kind of crazy. The leaks are getting out of hand. But yes, we have 6 days remaining until we can embark on the journey to the west, Black Myth Wukong. So if you don't know, the benchmark tool is out right now on Steam. If you want to test if your PC can actually run the game, you can download it for free. Just search in the Black Myth Wukong benchmark tool, run it, and yeah, show your results. Unfortunately, the Reddit for this game right now is basically just filled with people talking about the benchmark tool, asking other users if they can run the game. So if you want any valuable information and stuff, honestly, Reddit is not the place right now. It's literally just filled with benchmark tool results. And if you're wondering how to get the best settings for the game, here you can see stuff that will affect your FPS the most, and stuff you want to turn down. So obviously stuff like reflections and shadows. If your PC struggles with FPS, you can turn these down, as well as visual effects. Maybe some of the boss fights are making your game lag a lot. You can turn down the visual effects. I have actually found that turning down my shadows from very high to high, and also hair. I know this sounds a bit weird. Hair rendering in video games can actually tank your FPS. Changing it from very high to high actually gave me around a 15 FPS boost, which is nuts. Now, it does mention on this little chart that it couldn't measure it, but I have actually tried just turning the hair down by itself, and it helps a ton with performance. So yeah, consider doing that if you're struggling with your FPS. So I wanted to talk a bit about the combat mechanics in Black Myth Wukong. Now, obviously, a lot of people like to compare this game to Sekiro, probably one of my favorite, Souls-like games. Now, Black Myth Wukong does have different blocking mechanisms, and it actually offers 3 ways to block. Now, obviously, you have the dedicated block button, which is the flower staff technique. Holding this button allows you to block for several seconds. Now, this is only mainly used to block ranged projectiles. Then you have the parry in slash stance. Unique to this stance, the parry blocks all attacks while delivering a heavy strike. The trigger condition is to press the heavy strike off a light heavy combo when attacked. This requires setting up with a light attack first. Just one hit is enough. So this is obviously seem to use when you're in mid-fight. And like I said, you kind of have to set up for it. Probably best used in fights where you've learned, the attack patterns of the bosses, so you know when to time it correctly. And then finally, we have the Iron Skin and Stone Solid spell. This is the most direct way to block. Pressing it just triggers an instant block, lasting about 1 second, with a cooldown period. It's speculated that the set effects and potions can reduce this cooldown. However, according to the description, this spell isn't invincible against certain special attacks from some bosses. So we know this most of the time. Most bosses are going to have like these unique attacks. You need to figure out when you go into a boss fight what the special like attack you like, the unblockable attack. There's always like an unblockable attack where you either just have to roll out the way or just evade it. You can't just go in and block everything. So like I said, this requires experience and just knowing what the bosses do. Because if you try and do this block and it comes to it and the boss just does some crazy unblockable attack, you're just going to screw yourself over. But yeah, those are just some basic, I guess, blocking mechanisms if you guys weren't aware how the game plays at all. So yeah, I basically mentioned this in my last video, but like I said, a bunch of, I guess, Chinese modders were actually able to modify the benchmark tool, and they were actually able to make it so they were just able to just free roam around the area. Now, obviously you can just walk around and you can just, or fly around even, and just check out all like the items just up close. It looks really, really cool. The enemies as well, just walking around. Also, it looks like the developers have just built this area for the benchmark tool. I don't think this is like an actual area you're ever going to go to in the game, because I think they did mention that if you actually try and go outside of, I guess, the barrier, it's literally just like a little forest area that they've built, which doesn't really look like a map. It's simply just meant for like a fly through of a benchmark tool, and they've obviously put all the stuff that you're going to encounter in the game, like obviously the water, all the enemies near the side. Obviously they have a bunch of hair, so this is obviously where the hair rendering comes in. Like I said, if you're having trouble with your FPS, turn the hair quality down. You honestly won't notice it that much, and it will just increase your FPS. But yeah, check it out. It just looks insane. I just can't wait to play this game. I'm super excited, and yeah, hopefully I can bring you guys some more news content and stuff like that as we get some more information. But yeah, I guess to finish up and round up the video, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to support the video, because we are going to be giving away a copy of the deluxe edition. So like the video, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe to enter the giveaway. With that being said, guys, hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.